Ito naman sa nung umalis na ako sa 4th Infantry Division na napunta ako sa General Headquarters. I was assigned, handpicked by then the Commanding General of the Philippine Army, si then General Mariano, to maging Army aide ni Secretary Fortunato Abad, the late Secretary Fortunato Abad. So I reported to Secretary Abad. The first impression that I saw was how hardworking Secretary Abad. Punta ako sa opisina. He was still the Secretary of OPAP then. Papunta pa lang siya sa DND. Doon ako nag-report sa OPAP sa Camp Aguinaldo. 7 o'clock in the morning. I thought maaga ako. Mas maaga pa pala siya. So, nung nagpakilala ko, he immediately welcomed me. Parang he's fond of, especially Army siguro, dahil dati siyang Army. So he welcomed me and gave me instructions on his soon to be magiging trabaho sa Secretary of National Defense. And I closely worked with the Secretary and the family. Fortunately, we were fortunate to work with the Secretary at saka sa kanyang pamilya. Personal touch nila talaga sa mga staff nila, makita mo. Ibang-iba. They treat you as a family. In fact, doon pa kami natutulog sa bahay nila pag
Sir, brief background muna ni Ambassador General and naging ambassador to China, Abad. Sige sir, magtulungan tayo So he was the commander of CEMCOM, and masabi natin siya, he won
Mindanao.
He won.
Muntik talaga tayo noon, but because of his commandership and his diplomatic leadership na prevent yung escalation of maging malaking gera sa Mindanao.
1974 yun, sa Central Mindanao. So yun yung pivotal moment actually ng Philippines. May book nga si Sir na The Day We Nearly Lost Mindanao, because actually this title speaks for itself. So parang yung situation kasi was so di ba? Was so volatile na boom. Buti nandun ang leadership ni Sir. And pagpasok kasi ni General Cuerpo, captain pa kayo nun, Sir?
No, I was a captain.
Ano siya nun? Secretary of National Defense na. So, Sir.
Very conscious, the way he talks to leaders, even to the president, makita mo talagang yung kanyang professionalism and yung brand of kanyang thinking. He really is a very, very articulate, matured leader. Kita ko sa kanya. Very, very close sila ni then the President Fidel Ramos, and almost most of the time nag-uusap-usap sila ni Secretary Abad. His diplomatic acumen, yun makita ko siguro sa yung kanyang way of dealing with the international leaders. Nakita ko yun nung we went to Brunei, to talk to the King of Brunei, and makita mo talagang yung the respect na he commands when they talk to mga leaders. He is also well respected sa yung mga Moro separatist group noon, dahil yun nga yung makipag-usap siya sa we go to magpunta kami doon sa isang hotel sa Cotabato, isang hotel, and kami lang with the critical leaders ng MILF. They go to a separate room, mag-uusap sila doon. Ganun siya ka respected by these people. Hindi nga kami, no major escorts ang pag nandoon kami sa Cotabato. No, hindi siya mahilig sa ganon. So we went there, he would go there, talk to the leaders, which eventually helped ito na kung ano na ngayon ang naabot ng government and the MILF na relationship, yung GRP MILF relationship. Napaka laki ng kanyang contribution diyan sa talks na yan.
Noon, sir, kasi parang from the bundocks of Agusan kayo, biglang umakyat sa taas, kapitan kayo. Ano, sir, yung ano yung paano yung transformation ng yung thinking nyo, yung appreciation ng environment?
Hindi madali eh. I was yung parang sanay ka sa yung simple na buhay and work periods. Pagdating mo sa general sa headquarters ng Philippine Army, iba doon. Iba yung and it's more of staff work, so you need to research, you need to talk to other branches, no, para lang ma-kompleto mo yung staff works, and hindi pwede yung staff works na kulang kasi it goes up to the commanding general of the Philippine Army. So kailangan I have to cope up with writing, I have to cope up with research, I have to cope up with yung coordinating with the different offices para sa makompleto mo yung papers mo. And it became an education sa akin, no. It further enhanced my learnings sa military life as a staff officer. Na hindi na siya ngayon hindi ka na ngayon operational leader, but as a staff officer. Hindi lang pala puro preparations for war ang ginagawa mo, but you also need to learn writing now, recommending decisions. Kasi recommendatory naman tayo, but you make recommendations to your chief of the army through your research, thorough research, thorough understanding of the issues that you are given at hand.
Actually, sir, itong episode kasi na to, we're diving in sa pagiging staff officer, because hindi ka naman palaging commander kasi dito sa army. I mean, much of your time as staff officer. And if this episode will be viewed by yung whoever wants to learn, especially yung mga reservists natin who also want to serve our country, much of the excellence kasi ng army and the continued excellent performance boils down to excellent staff work, sir, ba, na made famous or infamous nung panahon din ni General Ramos na CSW. So sige nga, sir, doon nga tayo kasi this is for the benefit ng
ang key really is mag-aral ka talaga. You have to improve yourself through education, through training, through education, through experiences, and through also communicating and coordinating and asking mga kakilala mga kasamahan mo rin sa army, because experiences nila is vital also, no, para makakuha ka o makabuo ka ng yung finished products. But then really education is key dito sa ensure that you can be a good contributor to the organization that you are now helping through yung mga staff works, mga sulat and recommendations. So that time I had the chance na makapag-aral ng master's degree. I took that master's degree because I believe that education really would keep you ahead of your yung career, no? Makakatulong yan yung education. So my advice to the younger generations, don't stop learning. Talagang learning is an all year ano yan yung hahanapin mo dapat yung education. And kung may chance for you to go to schools, military schools or civilian schools, grab it, kay yun ang mga katulong sa atin sa ating as we progress in our career.
Pareho kaming AIM graduate ni Sir. Asian Institute of Management. Sir, anong takeaway nyo sa AIM? Marami rin nag-aspire to be AIM graduates, pero cool lang tayo. Pero ano, Sir, yung takeaway nyo doon?
Yung critical thinking. Yun talaga. Yung ang pinaka, I think, hindi mawala sa atin, no? Yung critical thinking. You take time, no, to research things so that you can provide also yung mga quality na wisdom or recommendations whoever who would like to get it. Critical thinking, yun yung hindi ko talaga makalimutan doon sa school na yun. Napakahirap na school.
Study kasi, sakit sa ulo.
Hindi ka makakatulog. Mayroong mga times na walang tulog for the whole week because of the case studies.
Asian Institute of Management. Pero Sir, I mean, pa-major na kayo noon. And normally, Sir, sige Sir, ito kasi, medyo exhaustive. Cool na cool man tayong dalawa, Sir, sa golf course. Pero exhaustive pero pag-major kasi sa career ng isang officer, may mga major crossroads din siya. And para sa mga, lalo na ngayon, newer generation, ano yung normally nagiging challenges na, Sir, no mag-major ka, Sir? Kasi ito episode na to, mamaya, Sir, yung 8IB commander ka ulit eh.
Yeah, umabot sa point ko na I wanted to get out of the army na, to retire early. But nung kinausap ko ng late father-in-law ko, tinanong niya ako, saan ka ba happy? I told him, I'm happy with being with the army. Why get out? Why get out if you're happy there? Doon na nag-change ang ko. Oo nga, bakit pa ako lalabas? Dito naman ako happy. So, yun yung that was a major crossroad sa akin nung middle rank na tayo. Pumunta ako sa isang point na I thought mag-change career na ako. But because of that, yung pagkausap namin ng aking late father-in-law, and yun ang hindi ko makalimutan, tinanong niya ako, saan ka ba happy? Yung question niya na yun, doon nag-change yung aking decision.
Lalo
and continued the service.
Na yun, Sir? Second stage na kung rocket. Second stage na yung ganun, Sir, sa major eh. Pero Sir, i-define nga natin ang happiness naman sa Army. Di ba, Sir? Babaw natin pero masaya tayo sa Army, Sir. Di ba? Katulad kanina, kita kami dito ng mga 4ID boys na happy eh. Anong happiness, Sir, ng Army?
Hindi mo ma-value sa peso eh. Yung happiness is you socialize with the people that you've worked with noon pa until now, nakita-kita kayo, and yung comfortable ka na makipagkwentuhan, magtanong even on mga simple issues yan na comfortable ka sa makipagkwentuhan sa ila, and happy ka na makapag-share ng 1 cup of coffee with them.
Just like what we're doing now. Sir.
Kwentuhan. And then, if you have the same passion, like sa sports, you share the same passion, yun ang napakasaya na talaga na buhay na mararamdaman mo.
Diver na siya ngayon, pero golfer, diver na, enjoying life na siya kasi retire niya last year eh. Pero we're doing this exposition kasi ng kanyang mga ideas and mga ano kasi if it will serve to inspire and chart the course of future officers, then I mean, pick upin nila yung gusto nila pick upin, sir, sa kinukwento nyo eh. Pero sir, at that time kasi, ano na kayo sir nun, major, yun na rin sir yung tumitingkad na rin yung ano natin, di ba CMO tayo dati, tapos di ba sir, war fighting lang tayo dito nung 90s eh.
90s,
Ano yung saan nyo na sense sir sa kuwan natin sa ano natin sa history ng career nyo sir, yung talaga stakeholder na ano na tayo kasi that's how we won the insurgency.
Yung Special Operations Team talaga, no?
Dito yan nagsimula sir, di ba?
Dito man nagsimula sa 14th Infantry Division. Yun yung initially paintindi sa akin about insurgency and the importance of hindi gera ang hindi talaga gera ang answer. The importance of yung pakikipag samahana ng different organizations, units or civilian organizations, dahil yung social issues hindi talaga kaya ng military action. Hindi talaga siya.
But it took long, sir, before we realized that kasi.
There were attempts, no? Marami mga Bantay Laya, marami itong mga plans na marami yung mga natin, operational plans noon na somehow may kulang, no? May hindi siya, kumbaga hindi nako-continue. May effectiveness siya on one point, and then after that yung continuation niya, yung kung sa medicine pa, yung aftercare. No, kung magkasakit ka, yung aftercare, yun yung siguro doon pa tayo nag-aaral pa at that time.
Kasi wala tayong experience.
Yes. Which eventually now, ngayon, no, itong mga current na ngayon, probably because of the experiences we had, yung mga immediate past leaders na realize nila ito, and they made a constant review of the plans natin. Ngayon, ibang-iba na, no? Kasama na talaga yung kumbaga yung sinabi ko kanina, aftercare, no? Sa mga natin na people who prefer to surrender, no, na at embrace peace and reconciliation. Yan na yun. Ang ganda na ngayon. Yung mayroon ng program for combatants who have realized, no, na hindi na magbabago na tayo ng buhay through may mga halfway houses na tayo ngayon. And then there are other programs na after ng halfway houses that would guide them to again be part of the mainstream society.
Kasi sir, yung next episode kasi ni General Cuerpo will be about yung as commander siya ng 8th Infantry Battalion na yan yung super dependable ang kanilang unit name, pero talagang dependable talaga sila rito, and much of it kasi doon na yung mga yung mga tools. Dati kasi tools of war lang tayo, sir, di ba? Pero ngayon, nung panahon nyo, ito na sir, yung nice mix na ng may symphony na.
Different, parang piano na ngayon.
Parang piano na. Dati kasi sir, totoo lang, parang dati kasi, we took pride in saying, skill patay ako Gandun lang ako. Pero nung, na sir, lahat ng mga bata kasi nakakatuwa. Na sila May complete set na sila of skills.
yung the tuning of our musical instruments, ayan
Sir.
na talaga. Kumbaga, kung yun yung ating gawin na parang, how to describe it.
Hindi sir, and then kasi, di ba, pumasok tayo sir, kasi naabutan ko si sir sa kadete sa PMA, pero pumasok tayo hindi, after 86 kayo pumasok.
86,
sir.
yes.
Pero that was post-EDSA.
Yeah.
And at the time, the military was really enjoying yung relative honeymoon naman with the populace, and then nagkagulo-gulo, nagkaku, and then everything. Pero nakabawi. And look at us now, di ba sir?
Yeah.
Parang trust rating.
Trust rating, napakataas.
Napakataas. And I must honestly say, we deserve it. Ayun, ito yung next episode ni General Cuerpo. As 8IB, dito natin ipapakita yung why we deserve ako nagbubuhat ng bangko ng Armed Forces, hindi si Sir. Thank you for this second episode, Sir.